Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, what is good? What is good? What is good? Welcome back to another episode of the Good Doc Talk Stocks. I am your host, Dr. Mike TV. Over here, we don't only get the likes up, ladies and gentlemen, we make sure we get our stocks up as well. Why? Because our wealth will not build itself. Been a while since I've been over here on the channel, guys, but I'm gonna try to get back at it like a crack addict. There's a lot of things that need to be said, a lot of things that need to be done. So we'll definitely make sure we get back to it soon. But today, I wanted to make sure that I focus on and go in depth as to why I only choose to invest in or put money into dividend paying stocks that pay on a monthly basis. Now, that does not mean that I do not have growth stocks in my portfolio, because I do. Matter of fact, I have plenty of growth stocks in my portfolio, but every dividend paying stock that I have, with the exception of Apple, even though I look at Apple more as a growth stock than a dividend paying stock, all the other stocks pay out on a monthly basis. Now, when I started this investment journey, man, I was just kind of figuring it out, right? So, of course, the dividend paying stocks that I had before, I'll run through the list of positions that I've had that I do not hold anymore. When I first got some skin in the game, it was Microsoft, it was Coca-Cola, it was McDonald's, it was AbbVie. I call it AbbVie, but AbbVie. I had some Johnson and Johnson, had 3M, I had IBM at one particular time, JP Morgan, I had a plethora, AT&T, Waste Management at one time. I wish I would have held Waste Management, but I no longer have it in the portfolio. I had a plethora of dividend paying stocks. As a matter of fact, when I first got into it, I got into it specifically for dividend paying stocks until I started to change my mindset into more of a growth mindset. But over time, I got impatient, and that was my fault. It was my fault. But if you guys remember a video that I did a couple months ago in reference to how I choose to invest in dividend paying stocks or things like that, and what I told you guys was I used to look at what particular dividend declarations or ex-dividend dates were coming up, and any money that I had, I would flood the money that I had into that. So when it reached its ex-dividend date, whenever the payout was to come out, bam, I put in a little bit of extra money so I could get a little bit of payout and on the dividend date, right? But over time, I started to realize that I'm a very impatient person. And this is just me. I can't help it. It is what it is. But I'm impatient. And when I had to wait 3 months for a dividend payout, no, let me take that back. When I had to wait 3 months for a dividend declaration, then they paid me out in the succeeding month. I ain't really like that very much. I was like, man, I gotta wait 3 months. Shit, AbbVie pays me out in February. AT&T pays me out in February. I gotta wait another 3 months until I get some more again. I won't feel that vibe. I'm lying. Is it 3 months? I think it's 4 months. My bad. Part of my math. But I had to wait like 3 or 4 months to get another payout again. I was like, shit. I didn't like it very much. So over time, I reduced my dividend paying stocks to only ones that paid monthly. I literally Googled what companies pay monthly dividend payouts. And it showed me a list. I went through them, did my research on the ones that I like, and I've broken it down to 3 specific monthly dividend paying stocks that I am invested in. If you want to know what those three are, stay tuned all the way through the end, and I'll tell you exactly which ones those are. Um, but I hated the idea of having to wait 3 months. And the reason that is because I'm impatient. And as a result of my impatience, I started flooding a lot of money into these monthly dividend paying stocks because I knew that the compound interest would happen a lot faster. I am now currently at a position wherein I have enough money in each of these dividend paying stocks to at least buy me one, if not more, stocks of that particular company when I receive a dividend from that company. So every time I receive a dividend payout for that particular company, I reinvest it back in, and it's more than enough to at least get me one full share of that particular company. And I noticed that it works a whole lot better for me when I'm able to do this because I know I'm getting paid the same amount every month. I ain't got to wait no 3 month standard or whatever it may be. Now, again, I'm not saying that any of the companies that I'm currently invested in are any better than the ones that pay on a quarterly basis or the ones that pay on a semi-annual basis 2 times a year or one that pays on an annual basis. I'm never going to say that the stocks that I'm invested in are better than those. I just know that I'm more comfortable knowing that I got a check coming every single month. Is that check guaranteed every month? Absolutely not, because they could cut dividends and they may never have them again. But at least for the time being, the way that the companies have been running, and the fact that these particular companies have been shelling out dividend payments on a consistent basis for quite a few years, I am more than comfortable to say that I should have an expectation that they will continue to pay out these dividends without hiccups or losses, with the exception of one. There's one in my portfolio that may give me a little bit of an issue. It just depends. All right, so that's why I choose to invest in dividend paying stocks that pay on a monthly basis, purely because of the compound. Right, a lot of people talk about the snowball effect. I am very big on the snowball effect. I've seen what it's done for myself and my portfolio. Again, my growth stocks aren't doing as great, so that shit's a little iffy. But I've seen what compound interest has done for my dividend paying stocks, man, and I gotta admit that the ball has definitely been rolling in the right direction. So I believe that if you do want to get into a monthly dividend paying stock, there are so many options to get into. A lot of people will choose some that are not the ones that I chose, and that's perfectly fine. I've heard people talk about, I believe it was SPY. I've seen people talk about a plethora of other things, man. But myself, if you want to know the three particular dividend monthly paying stocks that I'm investing, JEPI, that's the JP Morgan Equity Income ETF. Also invested in Orchid or Orchid, however you pronounce it. I like Orchid. I like Orchid. Cheap. Flood a lot of money into a dividend on a monthly basis. I like it. It's one of my more riskier ones, and the one that's not always guaranteed, but I love it. And the last one is Main Street Capital. That's my top three: Orchid, Main Street Capital, JEPI Equity Income ETF. And if you guys are interested in looking at them, I encourage you to check them out. I am not a financial advisor, so I'm not going to tell you that you need to get into these, but these are the ones that I hold right now that I believe are going to continue to pay me out what I need to get myself closer to that retirement point. And I do believe that overall, Main Street and JEPI are definitely safe where they are right now. I like JEPI because it's not a set number, so it's kind of like it's like the lottery. So sometimes I get paid more months, sometimes I get paid less, but I believe the lowest I've been paid since I started getting into this was like 25 cents per share. That's not bad at all. If you consider that Main Street Capital, as of the recording of this video, was only paying 20 cents. I'm mad as hell that they didn't give me that extra one in June, that payout. They fucked me in the ass, but it's okay. The JEPI pays out iffy, like I said, but Main Street Capital 20 cents, and then of course Orchid or Orchid, however you pronounce it, they pay out 6 cents per share. But you got to understand it's trading at about $5 or so per share as of the recording of this video. So that's it, guys, and that's why I choose to stick with the monthly dividend paying stocks. Nothing else to it but to do it. Believe in what you have. Stick to your guns. And I'll see you guys on the other side, man. Please believe. All right. It has been fun. It has been real. But it's time for me to go on, man. Again, don't only get the likes up, man. Make sure you get your stocks up as well. Because our wealth will not build itself. This has been Dr. Mike. You take care. Stay blessed. Doc is out. Peace.